welcome everyone to our next episode on Take a Pause. We have a special guest with coming in today, Professor Cristina Leal. Yay! Professor Cristina Leal is a professor here at our campus and teaches psychology. And so today she would definitely be sharing one specific course that one of my co-host Ghana took, and we'll learn more about that in a little bit. But you're probably wondering, what is happening there at the set? I'm seeing a pumpkin, I'm seeing bats, I'm seeing a spider. What's happening there? So it is a spooky season. And so before we get into this, see, we're already starting.
A little bit of a sound effect.
We're starting this, right? So we wanted to first start with kind of discussing what you do for the spooky season. So maybe you've been shopping, you've been noticing candy, decor for this month of October. And one thing I definitely want to share is before we started this recording, I found something really neat. So my birthday is in the month of October. I love the spooky season. And what I usually do for this time is, one, I go to haunted houses. I just love to get scared. But I found something else amazing. Professor Cristina Leal, can you share what we both found out today?
We share our birthday, not just the same month, same day.
So Professor Cristina Leal, what do you do for the spooky season?
So I do decorate for Halloween. We have a couple of big skeletons. I have two kids, and they really get all of us into the spooky season. We shop for costumes. We make sure we're stocked up on candy.
Yeah. And since when are you decorating? Since like October 1 or September?
It depends how much grading I have to do first. But we usually start in September. Our neighborhood goes all out.
I love that. It's never too early to decorate.
Yeah, that's so true.
Yes.
And, the first time when I came to the United States, just a little background. In Ukraine, we don't really celebrate the Halloween. If you go to the stores in like September, October, you don't really see a lot of decor. And I feel like it's just recently something new that we've been introducing to our culture, is that people are kind of doing these Halloween parties. But for me, it was really shocking when it was August and I walked in Target and I see all this like beds and decorations and costumes.
Since when did you go? When did you first notice it, Ghana?
I think it was like middle of August or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And just yesterday I went to Target. It was like really late, past 9 p.m. and I was getting some decorations for our recording, and two of these kids came up to me and they were like, "Sorry lady, are you a villain?"
What?
So this was a highlight of my evening yesterday.
Oh.
But this is pretty much everything I do on Halloween. I don't really do a lot of like decorations. We don't really do this in my family. But this year I'm planning to do like a little area with just like fall vibes where you can read or just relax. So yeah, a little bit of a stress reduction for my family, like in our house.
Yeah, so it is a spooky season, but for our campus as well, what's happening is it's also midterm season, right?
Yep.
Yeah, and so I know you just took a class, right, Psychology 20, the Psychology of Stress Reduction course with Professor Cristina Leal, and we wanted to learn more about the course, right? And as well, it ties in because midterm month is a stressful month, right?
Yep. So stressful.
Let's dive in.
Yeah, I think it's just the reason why, like the main reason why I was taking this class is because it was like for my general education, I needed to pick one of the psychology classes. And when I saw that we have a class about stress reduction, and I was taking 18 units last semester while also working, I was like, this is definitely something I need. And I know that it was 8:30 a.m. class.
8:30.
This was the earliest class at that point that I was taking. And I remember the first time I was like, oh no, I need to wake up at 6 a.m. and I'm feeling even more stressed and I want to go to this class and learn about stress reduction. But after the very first class, I just felt like this is going to be so helpful.
Yeah.
Because from the very first lecture, we started to actually dive into like, what do we want to do with this stress? Like, how do we navigate, and also how it impacts like our overall health, right? And we've learned a lot about that. And I think I just wonder, Professor, what is your like highlight about this course or like overall about psychology?
Well, thank you for sharing your experience with the course first. I think We had many students who weren't necessarily psych majors, but saw the title and said, this is something I need in my life right now.
We're all stressed at times,
So I think a big takeaway of this course is that stress is not really your enemy. It's not this big, bad, scary thing. It's something that it could be helpful for us. It's when it becomes too overwhelming, when it starts to impact us in different parts of our life, it affects our health, and it turns into the bad stress. But a little bit of stress is actually a pretty good thing. If you weren't feeling stressed about doing well on your midterms, you might spend all your time doing the Halloween decorating instead of doing what you need to prepare for midterms. So a little bit of stress, or the right kind of stress, is motivating. It's good for us.
Yeah. And so, Professor Cristina Leal, can you identify some types of stress that students can experience?
Okay. I think students might experience it in different ways. Here I was thinking, should I quiz Ghana on if she remembers the 3 types of stress?
Please no.
But I think it's important to identify that some of you might, or some students might notice, hey, what I'm feeling right now is stress, and others might not. So if you find yourself suddenly snapping at your friends, your partner, your family, that could be a sign that the stress is becoming too much for you. If you are having trouble sleeping, and that's not something that normally happens, or if you're getting stomach aches or not feeling hungry. So some of these things that are like normal functions, when they become disrupted, those are potential signs our body is telling us, this is a little bit more than I can handle right now. Let's do something. So we need to be aware of what our body normally feels like, so we can identify when we might need to do something different.
Wow. And so what are some of the causes to stress, would you say?
Causes to stress. That's a hard one to answer because we kind of know it when we feel it, right? I think for students, because you're here to better your life in some way, to learn something new, to advance your career, to work towards a goal, those are important things. Those are higher stake things. So we might not stress about as much about picking the right color of something to wear, but we are going to stress about doing something well that's going to affect our life for the long run. So I think a lot of the academic or educational stress is going to impact students. And then we're all humans outside of class, so how well we're getting along with our loved ones. If there's some relationship stress, that sometimes can feel even bigger than the academic stress.
Yeah, definitely. And I also feel like, our students, and I feel like we all, it's not just like one role in our life that we're having. We're like parents sometimes, we're daughters, brothers, and then we have all this like school, and then we're going to work after school.
We wear different hats.
And I feel like sometimes it can be just like so overwhelming, especially when you're not actually pausing yourself and thinking about, okay, how do I actually feel about all this like issues that happened to me, or maybe I had this like conflict at work. Something that I've been wondering even like before our classes, how do I regulate myself, and how do I help myself to feel better after all this like super stressful situation, so I'm gonna go home and talk to my parents in a very bad way, which I'm trying not to do.
But I understand where you're coming from, Ghana, because I know for me, like if I think about like when I was going to college the first time, one is I was first one to go to college from both sides of my family, and I would feel the stress of midterms, of having to pay for books, for gas and everything. And I would get that stress that I would get angry sometimes, and then I would have to tell myself, hold on, before you open that door and you snap, like you be careful, because when you say something, it's already out there. I don't want to be raising the volume of my voice, and then now my parents are like, hey, why are you talking back to me, or why are you raising that voice at me? I get where you're coming from.
And so I wonder, is there like any specific techniques or maybe just like simple things that we can do as we're going with our day and feeling stressed to kind of help ourselves to navigate this?
And there are so many different techniques, which is why we spend a whole semester on this, and there's still more to learn. And part of why we do that is because it's good to create a toolbox. Some things will work for you, some things won't work for you. Some things will work for getting through midterms, some things will work for getting through a conflict somewhere else. I think there's 2 general ways you can approach a stressful situation. You can think, is this something that I can do something about? Can I change it? So I'm running late all the time, I'm stuck in traffic. Is there something I can change? Can I try public transportation? Can I leave 10 minutes earlier? So let's try that and see what happens.
Yeah.
I have some agency in my life. But what if it's something that you can't change? Well, I need to drop off my kids first at this time, and then I have to try to make it to campus. So I'm just going to be stuck in traffic. So if there's nothing I can do to change it, then we work on coping techniques. So how do we reduce that, all of those physical sensations of distress in a meaningful way? And that's a lot of the tools that we learned in the class. So what can you do when the best way out of the situation is right through it?
Right. And Joanna also shared that in the class you did several activities as well, right? So I definitely want to learn.
Yes. You know, if you can kind of demonstrate us, or maybe if we can do something together to kind of show our students of what they can practice even when, you know, they're sitting in their chair.
Sure. I'll tell you about a couple of them, and we can do one.
Yes. We're excited. Let's learn.
Okay. So some of the different things you can do are breathing techniques. Either slowing down your breath or paying attention to what your breath sounds and feels like, holding it, taking a breath in for 5 seconds, holding it for 2, and then exhaling for 7 seconds. So even just slowing down your breath is telling your body, this is not an emergency right now. Because it turns out when we're stressed, our bodies can't really tell the difference. Are we being chased by a lion? Or are we worried about this exam in front of us? So even just slowing down our breath tells our body, we're not getting chased by a lion right now. It's okay. Something I've actually done very successfully with students is using positive self-talk. And it sounds really funny to think, how am I going to talk to myself? But you can think about doing it right now. Just talk to yourself. You're in the middle of the exam. You can notice that your breathing is getting faster and your heart is beating faster and your hands are getting sweaty. All those signs of stress. And tell yourself, I am safe. Nothing bad is happening right now. I'm not in danger. My body is safe. My mind is safe. And just saying that out loud, even if you say it quietly, if you're in the classroom, or say it to yourself, is really very powerful in beginning to calm those sensations. So just a couple of things there.
I'm starting to even relax more right now. I'm like,
Just as I'm listening, I'm already relaxed.
I'm feeling in the moment. I'm really relaxed.
I show up to this room for the first time. Like, everything is new. I feel nervous, and I can tell myself, like, I am safe. This is a friendly place. You can, continue that conversation with yourself and whatever's helpful. But that first part is just really powerful in bringing it all down and allowing you to be aware and present in the moment. So some of the other techniques include, becoming present and aware in the moment. And that's sounds really easy, but really hard to do. So here's the technique that we'll do, that I do in the classroom. And this is another one of those, if I'm stuck somewhere or I'm in the situation and I can't do much about it, but get through it, this is what I can do. So often the stress is getting worse because I'm in my head thinking about what bad thing could happen. And then it kind of snowballs into a bigger thing. We're taking an exam. I don't remember this exact question. Did we cover this? Did I not study? If I fail this exam, I might fail the class, and then I'm not going to graduate on time. And all of a sudden,
we're jumping into a conclusion.
5 years from now, all the awful things from the one moment here. So what I need to do is just stop it there and get out of my head. When I'm in my head, I'm not really aware of where I am or what's happening around me, right? You get kind of that tunnel vision. So it's a good time to do some grounding. And what's interesting is grounding in Spanish, you say pies en la tierra, which means like feet on the ground. So it kind of, I'm realizing I can even put both my feet on the ground now, to really ground yourself, connect with with your surroundings. And a good way to remember, especially when you're in your head, of how to begin doing that is do the 5 senses, or you say you have 5 fingers. So we're going to go through the 5 fingers and become more present and grounded in the moment. So for 5, we're going to say, can you identify 5 things that you can see? And if you can even be detailed, that's helpful. So one thing I can see is this very sparkly orange bat with a clip on it. I can see this purple tablecloth. I can see this bat chain that's silver. That's 3. I can see the microphones that are black. And I can see the jack-o'-lantern back there. It's grinning at us. Okay.
Our friend back there.
Okay. So we can now go to 4. We did 5. Let's do 4. What are 4 things that you can hear?
air conditioning right now.
Mm-hmm.
Microphone movement.
I noticed that.
The clapping.
Oh, the clap. Mm-hmm. It's 3. We need 2 more.
And also when we're breathing in a mic, I can hear the breathing.
And if you're in the classroom, you might even be able to hear like your feet shuffling on the ground, or people writing with a pencil. So the more you stop to focus on the little things you were not really aware of when you were in that tunnel vision state, the calmer your body and brain become too. So 4 things you can hear. What about 3 things that you can feel? So this can be feeling with your hands, your feet, any part of your body.
I'm feeling the floor right now with my foot.
Yeah, I can feel like my sweater.
Mm-hmm. I'm feeling warm.
Yeah, you can the temperature. I can feel the headphones covering my ears. Yep. Okay. So this might get a little bit harder. Now we've done 3. Let's do 2. What are 2 things that you can smell?
My perfume.
I can smell my perfume. The air.
Yeah. I feel like I think my air freshener is still going, so possibly I'm probably picking up that scent.
So there might be things, pleasant smells that you can identify. Those are familiar, but even such as I'm picking up these little items, like the rubbery smell of these little squishy brains. Okay, I can smell that. So we don't stop to think there's actually a lot of different sensory information that we're ignoring when we're in the zone.
True.
So that was 2.
Sorry about that.
Last sense, we got 1 more. Something you can taste.
The cardstock. Oh, taste.
And just 1 is enough.
That's a tricky
This
one.
is, yes.
That's a tricky one, Professor Leal.
Sometimes we have a glass of water.
Yeah.
Drink the water,
Oh,
and they
my
might have a little
beverage
bit of
over
a
here.
mineral taste in the water. Or even if you don't, even if you can't name it, if you can feel it when you're drinking the water. Or you might be able to get a hint of a toothpaste or breath mint that you used, or the coffee you finished drinking. Or if you're walking outside, you might be able to taste a little bit of the rain in the air. So if you actually, because it gets harder to identify taste when you're not intentionally eating or drinking something, that takes you even more out of the thing that you were worried about, and really makes you present in, I need to really stop and focus what is happening with all of my senses one at a time in this moment.
Wow, that's fascinating, because I feel, well, before coming in to record, I had something that I had to take care of, and it was just sitting on my shoulder. But during these the activity, like everything that I had to worry about, it went away. That's fascinating.
Yeah, honestly, same for me, because I feel like for the past couple of months, I've been living in this like I was just going through my life as a checklist, and I did this, and then I go to the next one, I go to the next one, go to the next one, and it's really fascinating how you can just ground yourself and just pause and actually think and feel whatever you're feeling. So thank you so much for this practice.
Thank you.
I'll give one more takeaway from this course,
Yes,
which I
please.
think is really important, is that whatever you practice grows stronger. So if we're constantly in that hyper-focused state, checking off our to-do list, going through the motions, not being very aware, we're going to get better at doing that. So the more you practice either grounding or breathing exercises or whatever you like to do to connect with yourself, the easier it's going to be for you to be in that present state and switch to that more often. So we learned in the class that the things that you do often, your brain makes new connections and strengthens those connections. And so you can access that information a lot faster. So even just doing this
fascinating.
one time every day, and you're going to be a more chill student.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like now every time before we're starting recording, the whole team and us, we're just gonna sit
we
and
are.
do this every time. Just a little meditation.
We'll come in like 10 minutes a little bit earlier and just focus on this. I love that. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
And for all the students who are watching us, take the psychology courses.
Yes.
And the stress reduction is actually gonna change your life, not even kidding. It may take you like 16 weeks to go through this class, but all the knowledge that you're gonna get is actually gonna help you so much during the school, during the finals, during the working environment, or any outside issues. So
or if you know someone as well that definitely recommend the class. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Growing up, I thought basketball was my best path, one shot to success. At San Jose City College, that all changed. My mentors saw more in me than I saw in myself and showed me that I could be anything. No one in my family had ever graduated from college, but I knew I had an obligation for future generations. At San Jose City College, you can go anywhere you want to go and be anything you set out to be. Discover your brilliance at San Jose City College.
We're back, everybody. It is the fall semester, and we're excited because we definitely have two fabulous guests, right, Ghana? We have our doctor here, Dr. Tony Mose, and as well we have our Student Health Services Director, Jeanette, Fedasz. And we're excited because they're going to be sharing a little bit about the services for our campus, as well. They'll be sharing their background and as far as their journey here, now arriving to San Jose City College. So we're excited to learn more about them in this episode.
So in this episode, we want to remind all our students that you need to take care of yourself. And your health goes beyond the classroom. So whether it's your mind and body, you don't need to wait to ask for help, and this is okay. We are human beings, and we're always learning. We're always, kind of evolving. And sometimes it can be really stressful, overwhelming, and it's okay to ask for help. So at SJCC, we're lucky that we have the whole team of people who are here for you, and they're dedicated to provide all the health services that you might need. So today, we are very excited to talk more about the mental health, just an overall health, body-mind health of our students here at SJCC.
So let's first definitely get to know you. Dr. Moose, tell us first a little bit about your background and also your journey into becoming a doctor.
Yeah, well, I went to undergrad knowing I wanted to do pre-med, so I did all the courses, moved out from New Jersey, went to Stanford for my bachelor's, and then went to Pennsylvania for my medical degree, and came back to San Jose to do my residency in family medicine. So when I graduated from residency, I came straight here because I was actually a student doctor here, just doing we go to different clinics to do more clinical experience, and the Student Health Services was one of the places that I came. The director at that time said, hey, when you're done with your residency, do you want to come and be the medical director here? Because our medical director is leaving, and so that was 25 years ago, and I've been here ever since. So I really love it. I'm only here 2 days a week, but the clinic is open, and we have a nurse. Jeanette will talk to you a little bit more about the services we provide. But yeah, we definitely are here because we love what we do. We love our students, and we want them to fulfill all their dreams and help them, achieve that goal.
Yeah, that's exciting. And so if you also would want to share with us how you started this, what was, your whole motivation on kind of helping students, and how do you like it at SJCC?
Yeah, so I've been a nurse for 25 years this past September.
And little quick thing, our celebration, our director just celebrated in September 25 years of becoming a registered nurse.
That's
congratulations.
amazing.
Yeah, thank you. And so I joined San Jose City College in January in a completely new role as a director of student health services. I've throughout my career provided direct patient care as a nurse, as well as a family nurse practitioner. I used to work at Evergreen Valley College, reporting to or in consultation with Dr. Mose remotely. And so I've worked in student health for many years. I was previously at De Anza College from 2007 to 2010, then Evergreen from 2018 to 2023, and then I'm back here. Yeah. So I really love working with young adults, college-age adults, because I think we can really make a huge difference in their lives, and not just in their lives, but in their family lives as well.
Awesome. And so Dr. Moose, I have a question for you. For students who may feel nervous about visiting a provider, what can they expect when they come in to see you?
Definitely. So we have a medical assistant as well as an admin who sit at the front desk to help students make appointments. We want our clinic to be somewhere that is welcoming, non-judgmental, easy to access, and where students feel like they can come to get any help that they want, whether it's a physical issue, a mental health issue. We want them to know that they have come to the place where we're here for them. And so if they come into the clinic, they make an appointment at the front desk, and either with our mental health, our case manager, or with me or the nurse. A lot of our students are in medical assisting programs, dental assisting, and they need a lot of immunizations and so on to, kind of be able to do all their externships. So we also provide those for them.
Wow. And is there a cost?
So that's a great question. All students here pay a student health fee, and that cost helps to cover many of the services that we provide. If there are services that are not covered, it tends to be whether they need laboratory work, for example. But even those we are able to provide at a lower cost because we only charge what the laboratory charges us. We don't charge anything on top of that. So the charges that they have to pay tends to be at least a lot less prohibitive. Obviously, it still is so for some students, but we try to do that. So there are some things like laboratory tests, maybe pap smears if they aren't covered under a program that covers it for them. But many of the things that we can provide are free of charge.
And where do our students find you? Is it necessarily to make an appointment, or we can just go there and kind of
like a
drop
walk-in?
in?
You're right, a walk-in. We do not. We prefer students to make appointments only. That way we are sure that we don't have people waiting to be seen, and also that the schedule allows for it. So we ask students that you can either call to make an appointment, come into the clinic, front desk to make an appointment, or if they have access to their student medical portal, point and click portal, they can also make an appointment online through that. So it makes, there's flexibility.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
And I do have two follow-up questions. One is, and as well, this will be a question for both our fabulous guests. One would be, do you have to be actively, currently enrolled in the semester for these services? And then second, do you need your student ID card when actually visiting the location?
You want to take that?
Yeah, so in order to access services with us, you do need to be a currently enrolled student. And as far as needing to have your student ID card, you do not need to have your student ID card when you come in to make the appointment, but you do need to have some sort of a picture ID so that the person at the front desk can look you up on our system to confirm that you are, in fact, a student here at San Jose City College.
Fabulous.
Yeah, and I would say I have one of the questions, which is, what would you hope the student, if they're watching this episode, what would they take away? What is the most important thing they need to know when they're on campus about any emergencies or anything that came up?
I'll go first, and then Jeanette, you can fill in. I think what the takeaway I would want students to know is that we are here to provide any care that they need, and if we can't do it, we're here to help them figure out where they can access that care. Because we fail to remember a lot of times that our mental health and our physical health really impacts how we go about day-to-day life. Whether we come to class ready to learn, whether we've had a meal even, there's so many factors that come into play. And so I want students to know that if they need assistance, they should come in, and we will help them find, either we will provide that care that they need, or we'll help them figure out where in the community they can access that care. So no one needs to feel like they don't have any resources, because our goal is to make sure that we provide any resources that we can to fulfill the needs of our students. Is there anything that I missed that you might want to say?
Yeah, I think what I'd like students to know is that we really want to provide a safe space for them. All of the services that they receive with us are confidential. And with the exception, if we do have a student that tells us that, they have plans of hurting themselves or someone else is hurting them. And we're all very dedicated, and we're here to serve our students.
Yes.
And so we're here to advocate for our students.
Yes.
And I'm very active in attending ASG meetings and just really listening to what our students' needs and wants are. Last month in September, we just had a wellness fair on September 30th. And, and I hope that, we can continue on that trajectory.
Yeah. That sounds great. And so I know we were chatting on about some of the services, right? We would love to know what are all the services that are available at the Student Health Services Office. If you can please share with us.
Sure. So we offer STI testing, so sexually transmitted infection testing. Dr. Mose performs sports physicals, person exams. We have immunizations that are performed by our lead RN, Kathy. In this fall season, it's flu season, COVID season.
Yeah.
So, we have free flu shots available to staff and students.
Oh, is it by walk-in as well?
It's,
faculty?
it's by appointment, and we are having a limited supply coming in from
That's the reason.
Yeah, from the county, and so we're gonna try and offer as many flu shots as possible, but it's really dependent on how many we get in from the county. We also have for students that would feel more comfortable purchasing like a pregnancy test through us versus going to Dollar Tree. They can come in and purchase a pregnancy test for $2. We also have Plan B, the emergency contraceptive pill, available for $7. Am I missing anything?
I think the only other thing, a couple other things that we definitely provide is birth control counseling as well as options. And we do IUDs, we do Nexplanon, we do a lot of, we give pills, we have all the birth control options that students may want. And also we have free Narcan and fentanyl. And we also have the drug test strips, and those are all free. They're in the vending machine, but if there aren't any in the vending machine, then they can come to the front desk to get them as well.
That's right. And we also have in our vending machine, which is located adjacent to the Jaguar Market, we also have the fentanyl tests as well.
Oh, okay. And what's the fee for the vending machine?
None. It's free.
It's free.
Oh, it's free.
Yeah. And condoms. Don't we have condoms in
and
there?
Lubricant
And
too.
lubricant.
Yeah.
They're all free in the vending machine.
Yeah. So starting this fall, we've created a kind of like a rape prevention party pack, so to speak, where we have condoms, lubricant, as well as the spike drink tests in a little packet, so that our students can go ahead and take it and be safe when they're out, on the weekends.
Definitely.
Yeah, that sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for sharing. I feel like this is such an important information, and we need to actually, talk more about these things, because I personally, I'm a student here. This is my second year, and I personally didn't know about a lot of these resources.
A lot of students don't, so we're so happy to be here to make sure the word gets out.
Oh, definitely. Well, we're really excited, for this information, and as well excited to be able to share with our students and with all our viewers. Thank you again for watching. If you're wondering, where can I visit the Student Health Services Office? They're located in the Robert and Chang Student Center in room 109, right across from the police station, and as well right next door to the Jaguar Market. Again, thank you so much, Dr. Mose, as well to our director, Jeanette. And check us out in our next segment. We'll be having our Student Health Services Case Manager, Elise Reyna, joining us.
I grew up where kids weren't expected to go to college. We just got whatever job we could to pay the bills. I felt I had no other choice. There was no role models to show me anything else. At San Jose City College, I experienced the transformational power of education. I was empowered when learning about social movements in this country, and I realized that I did have a choice. I decided then to forge my own path and become a role model for my family and for my community. Choose your own path. Discover your brilliance at San Jose City College.
I hope you all enjoyed learning more about our SJCC health services in this episode. And as we know, October can be a little stressful because we have all the midterms as well as different holiday preparation. And we just think it's really important to talk more about mental health and how our students can get more access to all the resources that we have on campus, because it is really important to know what we have here so you guys can decide whether or not you want to go and kind of ask for help. So today we're also joined by Alisa Reina, who is our case manager for the health services, and she will be sharing a lot of valuable insights about mental health resources that we have here on campus.
Yes, I'm excited. And as well, you're going to share a little bit about the services as well location. But before we jump into this segment, we want to get to know more about Elise. So Elise, if you can share with our viewers a little bit of your background and your journey here to San Jose City College.
Sure. Thank you for having me today. So I am actually born and raised in San Jose, and I started my college career at Evergreen because that was closest to my home. And then I transferred to San Jose State. I have my undergrad in psychology, and then went to grad school with the social work program again at San Jose State. So I have my master's in social work, and then I'm also a licensed clinical social worker, which most people have no idea what that means. So it just means that when I graduated from my grad program, I got a job as an individual therapist. And then you have like thousands of hours of face-to-face time, and then you take some tests, you pass the tests, and then you're licensed.
Wow.
Oh, that sounds nice.
Yeah.
And how would you say you kind of started with this pathway of helping people with their mental health?
Yeah.
I find people that go into mental health, and I think just like helping professions in general, you have an intrinsic skill set like that. You're just drawn to it naturally. It's not something that like you go out to seek. You just kind of naturally understand emotions to a certain degree, or just different aspects of mental health. And so I definitely found that to be the case with myself. And so I just had an interest in it. And then I can't recall how or when, but I started at Evergreen knowing like I want to be in mental health. So I already did my own research, and I was like, maybe I can be a therapist.
Yeah.
So that was always my goal, and it was just a matter of like what direction I'm going to take, because there are different things that you can study to be a therapist. So I don't know exactly when or how, but I just always was like, yeah, I think I'm going to do this mental health thing. So very early on.
And can you share your pathway here to San Jose City College?
Yeah, sure. So I actually became interested in college mental health specifically because in my graduate program at San Jose State, we have to do a field placement. So my second year field placement, I requested to be placed at West Valley Student Health Services. And so that's what piqued my interest specifically in college mental health. But there's not a lot of positions available typically. So I actually put like, like on Indeed and different things, you can put like, if this job comes up to like alert, search alerts.
Yeah. Alerts.
So that's what I did. And then I would search as well, like the different districts. And then lo and behold, a job at City College became available. And I applied literally the last day that you could submit your application.
And then we already know that you work as a case manager at SJCC.
Yeah.
Could you just tell us more about what this job involves?
Yeah, of course. Also, most people don't know what is a case manager, right? So it's important to put meaning to what that is so that students know what they're coming in for. So as a case manager, I'm here to support students that are going through distress or an obstacle, any sort of a challenge, because we know that that can potentially present issues for them in like multiple facets of your life, right? And it can be something that can present as an obstacle to them reaching their academic goals, right? So that's primarily what I'm here for. And then I'm able to have so many different conversations with students regarding, okay, let's talk about what exactly is going on with you. I give them a safe space and also help them organize their thoughts so that together we can come up with a potential plan. And then I'm also giving them options. Because it's important that people learn the skill set as well as they're adults. Right? They need to feel comfortable in what they want to pursue and when they want to pursue it, right? And a lot of students have fears and like different trepidations. So then I also talk them through, okay, like what about, for example, if they have an interest of accessing a therapist? Okay, so what do you think could be an obstacle in you actually doing it, and kind of talk through and
And I have a follow-up question, Elise. When you mentioned the conversations and those meetings with the students, do they have to be in person or can it be virtual, like on Zoom?
We offer in person and we also offer on Zoom. There's just for Zoom, there's just a couple of things that on our side we have to ensure that there's no like safety issues or safety concerns. Just when it comes to telehealth, there's just a few things that on our side we would have to make sure. Most students last semester and this semester are preferring in person, but that's an option that students have. They just have to tell whoever they're making the appointment with whether they want in person or whether they want it over Zoom.
Okay. And so what motivated you to focus on mental health advocacy and student support?
That is a big question. And I don't know that I have like one motivator, but I think that it's like the intersection because I have a huge passion for mental health, but then also education because education has been so powerful in my life and I love the educational setting. I always have, even my past job, I was in K through 12 setting. So I've always been in an educational setting. And we don't have enough conversations around mental health, I find. And so it's important that students have access to someone with knowledge so that they can build their skill set. Because again, it's this expectation that you turn a certain age and you know certain things, but that's just not the case. And so sometimes just having that safe space makes a difference for the student to stay here, as opposed to on their own they're like, oh, I'm already thinking of dropping out of school. And we're always like, wait a minute, let's have a conversation, because if you're struggling with managing stress, you're going to go to the extreme, right? So I just really, really enjoy being in this role so that I can, share my expertise with people, and that hopefully it's something that benefits them in the long run.
Yeah,
Definitely.
I really like how you mentioned that, you kind of like the school setting while also being a mental health provider, because I feel like, when you have some issues within yourself and it just doesn't feel right, how can you be successful in school and also do job? Because as we know, a lot of our students, they have jobs, they have kids, they have families they need to take care of.
Several responsibilities.
And this is just a lot to balance on yourself.
Yeah, I definitely find that to be the case with students here, that they are juggling multiple things. It's not like where people think of college student, oh, they're living at home, they have everything paid for, and all they have to do is come to school. That's not the case for many of our students, right? And that also wasn't the case for me. I had to have a part-time job, and I really, I think, relate to the challenges that our students face. And so also I think that it's important that students have someone relatable, right? And not just someone that is speaking from like, oh, I read this in a book. You know,
so true,
it makes a difference when students come in, that you have the ability to connect with them. And yes, everyone's different. My experience is unique, their experience is unique, but there's a lot of also like commonalities. So I think that that's also very important.
Right.
Yeah, and then how do our students access these resources? Where do we need to go to make an appointment? Or is there a specific email, phone number, or should we just go in person and make it?
So I definitely recommend students either call our student health services. The direct line, it is 408-288-3724, or come see us in person. We're in the student center behind the cafeteria, because that's just going to be the easiest expedited way to get an appointment, as well as our front desk is really good at talking them through what type of appointment they are asking for, because sometimes they're not quite sure. Or if I'm available, I'll pop out and have a conversation with them and help them kind of decide what appointment is going to be best for them.
And can you share all the different mental health services available at our campus, please?
Yes. So we've already touched upon case management, and then we also have mental health counseling. So we have on our campus 2 mental health counselors. They are here about 2.5 days a week. They are both really amazing. They have such a wealth of knowledge, and they're both licensed therapists. Yeah. So that's the other resource that is available. And I want to mention that both the resources are brief and time limited. So what that means is that with case management, you have a set number of appointments that you can access per semester. So it's going to be 3 to 6, and with mental health counseling, it's going to be 6 to 8. If there's ever an instance where a student already knows based on their mental health need, like that's not going to be enough for me, then in that case, I would ask them to meet with me, because we could already start talking about community resources. And also a big thing that I do is talk them through how do they use their insurance to access benefits they already have, because a lot of our students do have insurance. But again, it's one of those life skills that people don't teach you, and they expect you to magically know. And these systems are really hard to navigate, right? And then people go without getting the support that they need, right? So I also talk them through just the basics of how they could schedule an appointment, and then even offer, if students want, we call together.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you so much, Lise, for being here today. A lot of great information. We definitely got to know more about our campus.
Yeah. So definitely use all of these resources. We're also going to have the description of this video with, kind of a recap of all this information. So just go there, kind of revisit it, and of course, use all the resources that we have on campus.
And I also want to add, mental health is really important to take care of, and we want to take care of ourselves. I know at our campus we have held professional development days definitely focused on mental health.